Hello, here's Kelthar of the Heroes and Legends, and welcome back to the RPG Corner. We just finished Chapter 5 in the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel, and it was a doozy. We're now going to start Chapter 6 and see the repercussions of the events. And usually there's a chapter recap and stuff at the beginning of chapters, so we'll see where that goes. If Rain doesn't give me a recap, I'll go ahead and do my own recap for you, but as we play. Alright, so let's go. Let us go. Let us do this. Skipping ahead, skipping all the way to that next day.
Half a month after the incident at Corellia Fortress, a sense of lingering unease still hung over the Empire.
Lingering unease.
The government increased patrols by the railway military police as part of their counter-terrorism measures. While the noble faction bolstered their provincial armies, there were even rumors that they'd hired several Jaeger corps.
Oh boy.
At the center of everything was the Imperial Liberation Front. They had allied with a terrorist group from the Republic of Calvert to attack the trade conference in Crossbell, and as we'd seen firsthand, had attacked Corellia Fortress in an attempt to fire the 2 railway guns stationed there. They'd made it abundantly clear that they were no mere insurgents. These were dangerous people we were dealing with. And following their attempts to target Chancellor Osborne and the Reformist faction, rumors started to spread of a possible connection between the Imperial Liberation Front and the noble faction itself.
Is it that guy? I don't remember which guy is.
Meanwhile, new information was filtering in from Crossbell that surprised us all. During the conference, one of the representatives of Crossbell's state government made the daring declaration that Crossbell would soon declare its independence, breaking free from its neighbors Calvert and Erebonia. To no one's surprise, both the Imperial government and the noble faction dismissed it as nothing more than delusional raving.
Oh boy.
But one thing was clear. That declaration only served to increase the tension in Erebonia and across the continent.
Increase the tension. It's all the nobles' fault. They're so greedy, and this is what the result is. It's Kit Kat. Uh-oh, someone's gonna get scratched. What's with the cars?
On a cool, clear autumn day, the Academy's prestigious board of directors gathered for their first meeting of the year.
Who's this guy? There's Sarah, and there's Sharon, and some well-to-do armored dude out front. Maybe just a random soldier. And I'm moated.
And that concludes my biannual report.
Good. It seems the Academy is running like a well-oiled machine. No administrative issues to speak of. Student performance is sitting comfortably above the national average on exams and on general aptitude
always
tests,
forget.
too.
The second-year students seem to be having a banner year as well. The Student Council president, in particular, has built up an outstanding array of extracurricular achievements.
Well, she attended last month's trade conference, and from what I hear, she put the professional secretaries to shame. I only wish the conference could have ended on a more positive note.
I'll say, the share prices of my company have been on a real roller coaster ride ever since.
Oh, of course.
Undoubtedly, what happened at the trade conference has wreaked havoc on the economy as a whole. But moving on. I couldn't help but notice in the recent exam reports that Class I and II's academic performance seems to be slipping. Perhaps the preferential treatment given to the upper class students is hindering their scholastic development?
Well, students belonging to the nobility are allowed to return home during August to learn more about their family's lands. It's a tradition here, but one I can't help but wonder if we've outgrown the need for in this modern age.
If I may, traditions accumulate and hold meaning only so long as they're preserved. Our nation's culture, its arts, its social classes, all are rich with tradition that makes Erebonia what it is, and I believe we have a duty to protect and uphold them. After all, does not this very institution champion the ideals of its founder, Emperor Dreigels?
Indeed it does. Though I've always understood Dreigels' intent to be the founding of an academy for the people. Even 200 years ago, when education was seen as the province of the nobility, male commoners were permitted to enroll. Today, we have plenty of young women attending, and the commoners easily outnumber the nobles on campus. Perhaps it's time we started taking strides to realize Emperor Dreigels' true ideal.
Is there gonna be a fight between commoners and nobles right now?
You seem to be laboring under a few misconceptions here. Commoners were permitted to attend, but only as retainers. Retainers served knights, who served lords, who served the emperor. That's the way the Erebonian society functioned.
Oh shit.
From that vantage, the structure of the academy in its earlier days certainly seems to have embodied that social order. And if that's so, what is there to suggest that it's not the social order itself that has become the aberration?
Well,
For one, if that were the case, it would be far easier for me to see my views put into practice. But I can hardly get a word in edgewise between you two. Well, I'd certainly enjoy a return to the way things were in Dreigels' time, at least in that particular respect.
Our apologies, Your Highness.
well, our role here is to consider your views and work toward implementing them.
See what I mean? Would you be so kind as to help me out here, Principal?
I'm here to moderate this board. It wouldn't do for me to express my position on the issues at hand. That said, I'm sure your passion for reform will triumph in the end, Your Highness.
I suppose I should have known better than to look to my old teacher for sympathy.
It warms my heart to see such a fine teacher-student relationship.
Now, if I may, I'd like to steer this discussion toward a rather timely topic.
A timely topic.
We've already touched on the issues regarding the Orbal Net and the Orbal Staves, but
I mean, his mom's kind of hot for an old lady.
I'd like to stress again that the adoption of new security measures for the Orbal Net should be a top priority.
Well, I'm certainly inclined to agree.
I'm inclined to agree as well.
But we'll have to rely on the Foundation directly, as things are looking a little shaky with the IBC.
You can leave that to me. The other matter I'd like to review is the use of the Orbal Staves and the Arcus units. Or more specifically, we need to talk about how Class 7 should operate from here on out. Setting aside the fact that my daughter is a member of Class 7, I think we need to reconsider how the class should be run, in light of what happened at Corellia Fortress. While it certainly proved an excellent chance to see what the Arcus units are capable of, I have serious doubts about whether we should carry on with these field studies, given the current political climate.
It would be difficult to do so, I admit. With the terrorists at large and the problems in Crossbell unresolved, these are uncertain times.
At the very least, I believe it may be in the class's best interest to cancel this month's field study. We could always resume them once the terrorists have been arrested and the situation in Crossbell calms down.
Arise, O youth, and become the foundation of the world. I'm sure you all recognize the words of Emperor Dreigels. They become something of a school motto here. It's my belief that Class 7's actions at Corellia Fortress perfectly embody the spirit of that directive. They stood together to stop a tragedy in the making and, in a sense, protected the foundation of our world.
You tell him, Oliver.
No one ordered them to do it. They took action of their own free will, because they knew in their hearts what was right. Some might call it recklessness. Some may think it rash. Some may even venture to call it hubris. However, as chairman of this academy, I'm incredibly proud of what the brave young men and women of Class 7 achieved.
Your Highness.
Troubled times may lay in store for Erebonia, and for the entire continent in the months and years to come. But I believe that makes something like Class 7's field studies all the more significant. The experiences they're having now will help them find the strength and the means to press on through adversity. I can't be the only one who feels this way, can I?
Nope. I feel this way too.
They do seem to be showing remarkable growth. That much is true. Although I have no idea how much my daughter is really capable of, immature as she is.
I could say the same of my hothead of a son.
I do wonder about my brother sometimes. However, it does seem that enrolling at this academy has helped him start breaking out of his shell.
Oh, sorry.
With the Academy Festival coming next month, we hadn't even planned a field study. So the issue at hand is just whether to hold a field study at the end of this month or not. I'd like to ask those in favor of going ahead with this month's field study to please raise their hands.
Not gonna tell me who raised their hands? Oh shit. We're just gonna have to sit in suspense.
All right. I'd like to begin by taking everyone's ideas for our class's part in the school festival.
127th, wow. Military Academy Festival.
The festival will run for 2 days next month, the 23rd and the 24th. Equipment setup and the other preparatory work will begin in the afternoon 2 days before the start of the festival. But there's a lot of preparation needed before we get to that point, and the sooner we get that underway, the better.
That's all the more reason to figure out what exactly we want to do.
Wait, that's not actually words on there, is it? It looks like it's just a bunch of random letters. Oh, that's terrible.
Some of our options include displays, events, stage shows, and cafes. Does that sound right, Crow?
Yeah, though no class I know would settle for just some simple display. I mean, come on, no one ever said, boy, we better rush to get in the line for that display.
Well, either way, I'd like to start by soliciting some ideas from all of you. We're just brainstorming right now, so feel free to say whatever comes to mind.
Whatever comes to mind. Let's do a battle diorama. Or a battle booth. You come in there and you spar. Be great.
Would it kill you all to give just a teensy bit of cooperation?
I know. It's just...
It's kind of hard to focus right now.
You're one to talk, standing up there with your nervous fidgeting.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised.
The board of directors is in session as we speak, deciding what'll happen to our class.
And those of us with family members who sit on that board probably have even more cause for concern.
You can say that again. We can't even be sure whether there'll be a field study this month.
That's about the long and short of it. With everything that happened during last month's field study, it honestly wouldn't surprise me if they just canceled it.
I can't say I have any particular feelings of attachment to our field studies, but I refuse to accept needless changes to our curriculum, especially with my brother involved in the decision-making process.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Makes sense to me. We also have to account for the fact that going on our field study means that much less time to prepare for the festival. So as you can see, it presents a bit of a problem.
Man, look at you guys taking this all seriously.
Yeah, Crow, you need to get on it.
I probably should have asked a little earlier, but what's this festival you guys keep talking about?
Wait, seriously?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have gone over that for your benefit.
Yeah, you're terrible,
Every year,
Emma.
the students here organize and put on a school-wide festival. There are stage events, food stalls, and all kinds of things to see and do. And it generally falls to each of the first-year classes to provide the main attractions.
Yeah, participating is optional for the second years, since by this point they're usually focusing on their future careers. Oh, and each of the clubs generally get involved too.
Huh, that sounds fun. In that
case, we have to do something. We can't just let the other classes roll over us because we're small. You say that, but I've already had one of the girls from Class 1 bluster up to me declaring that this time victory will be all ours. What?
It must have been Ferris. That sounds exactly like something she'd say.
Well, Class 1 does seem to have had it in for us ever since the midterm results were announced.
If it's all the same, I'd rather not see the House of High Arms claim yet another nominal victory. But we need to account for the fact that our class is markedly smaller than theirs is.
That's certainly true.
It'd help if we at least knew what the other classes are doing.
It kind of seems like everyone's having trouble staying focused.
Come on, everyone, get it together.
Here we go.
Instructor Sarah?
Isn't this a self-study period?
Oh, it was. But I thought you all might like to know that the Board of Directors meeting just adjourned a few minutes ago. So I decided to skip along down here and be the first to break the news.
Then?
What about our next field study? Are we...
The Chancellor's not the only one with a little too much iron in his blood, because the board voted unanimously to have you continue your field studies.
You mean it?
So that's how it is.
You know, even though they're always hard work, I actually feel a little relieved.
Considering all that happened last month, we'll need to be especially careful this time around.
Still, it feels like our field studies are a big part of who we are as a class.
Yeah.
They're kind of a pain, but oh well.
Yeah, that's right.
We should be grateful to His Highness and the directors.
That's good news.
Seeing the hard road and the easy road, then picking the hard one anyway. That's youth for you.
It also sounded like His Highness and the directors will be taking off in pretty short order. So I'll let you guys out of study hall early to go see them if you want.
Oh.
If you say so.
I think I'll take you up on that.
Bum, ba-dum. You gonna come see your mom? Everybody in their limo. Oh, he's a guard for the prince. Royal Guard. He's like Secret Service. Mother. Dad. Sam, I haven't had the chance to talk with you since the summer festival. Sounds like you were quite the heroes of Gorelia Fortress. Come on, don't tease us. I'll be the first to admit that we acted rashly. But in the end, I have no regrets. Not one letter. Glad to hear it. It's good to see you again. Likewise, my may feel so far behind us now. You have questions, no? It's written all over your face. I do. You were in Legram, weren't you? To meet Duke Cayenne. That's the name! I keep forgetting. Cayenne is C. Calling it. I'm gonna forget again probably in like 30 minutes. I gotta keep remember. Cayenne, like cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper. Remember that. Correct. I was hoping to have time to greet you and your classmates too. But I imagine you would rather he not take too close an interest in you. You imagine right. Still, I'm concerned. What is the House of Albarea playing at? And not just us. What are the four great houses and the rest of the noble faction trying to accomplish? You ask like there's a simple answer. The four great houses aren't as united in opinion as you might think. Even with individual families, there can be disagreements. You know that I differ with Father on several issues. But rather than worrying about others' positions, I suggest giving some thought to your own as a member of the family. I'm surprised you actually managed to make it here. I was expecting a business negotiation to crop up just in the nick of time like it always does. Time is something you make, not something you find. All the more so if you're in a position of responsibility. Bah. Lady Elisa is quite the multitasker herself. You should see her. She has no trouble balancing her time between her studies, training, club activities, and hobbies. Of course she doesn't. I'd be disappointed if she wasn't able to manage at least that much. You need to start using your time more creatively, Lisa, instead of simply doing what's required of you. Ugh. Parents, I saw the railway guns at Gorelli, and I saw what those Atzens are capable of, and I understand why grandfather regrets ever making them. Do you honestly feel things like that are necessary, or are you really okay with that? Huh. I think the fact that you've seen enough to ask me that now means deep down you've realized that they're both necessities of this era we live in. Well, the opinions of others are only that. Stop relying on them so much. Observe for yourself and draw your own conclusions. That's what someone who is truly independent would do anyway. Oh shit.
Still, I wasn't expecting to find myself indebted to you again so soon. Without your intervention, the Chancellor and I would have met our maker in Crossbow.
Don't mention it.
We're just relieved you're all okay, Your Highness.
Indeed. I'm glad you were able to focus on making a positive contribution at the conference.
I wish I could tell you that's exactly what I did. I could scarcely find a place to chime in once the Chancellor and the Republic's president got going. Though the mayor of Crossbell managed to dumbfound even them.
I presume you're referring to his proposal for Crossbell's independence?
Hard to believe it could actually happen.
Well, as long as both Erebonia and Calvard refuse to accept it, the likelihood of it actually happening is incredibly low. Still, they're planning to hold a referendum on the issue to see if the population is in favor of it. So there'll be plenty more chances for disputes to break out over the issue.
Well, neither of them want to lose all that sweet tax revenue from Crossbell. Half of it flows into the provinces too, so fat chance the noble faction's gonna take that lying down.
Oh boy.
Milliam.
Oh, I swear, this kid has all the delicacy of a rock to the face.
So you're Milliam, are you? Your name seems to have come up with increasing frequency lately. Well, I was hoping for a chance to see the famous Eric Getlem in action, though.
Oh, sure thing. Come on, Lamb!
Whoa there. Cool your jets.
I'm not sure this is the best place to call out Eric Getlem. Just a hunch.
Lame.
Objection overruled.
Oh, that could have gotten messy.
Honestly, it would save us all a lot of trouble if you could
Black-haired
just
officer.
refrain from saying whatever pops into your mind, too.
Lame.
Oh, who might you be?
Yeah, we get to find out who he is.
Say, are you from the Vander family? The one who serves as the prince's bodyguard?
Oh, did Neidhart mention me?
I knew he was famous. Weller Vander.
I'm Mueller Vander of the 7th Armored Division. I was with the prince at the conference in Crossbell, so I'm in your debt as well. Glad to be able to thank you personally.
The honor is ours, sir.
It's an honor to meet a member of the esteemed Vander family.
Ah, so you're the Radiant Blade Master's daughter. And you must be a practitioner of the 8 Leaves 1 Blade style. I'm always happy to meet fellow students of the sword. Oh, and you must be the young man from Nord who my uncle wrote a reference for.
Yes, that would be me. I owe a lot to Lieutenant General Vander.
It sounds like he's in your debt as well, with everything that happened in Nord a few months ago. Well, you all seem like dependable young men and women. Perhaps the prince's idea had some merit to it after all.
See? What did I tell you? And it's not just Class 7 either. The whole academy seems so full of life. Perhaps I should take this opportunity to break down social barriers by getting to know all of them in the academy's pool.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
If you really want to work up a sweat, I'd be glad to let you run back to Heimdall. If you kept up a good sprint, I'll bet you could even make it in a couple hours.
You'd actually make me do it, too. Ah, cruelty. My name is Mueller.
It's like their hearts practically beat in sync.
That's certainly one way to look at it. I wonder how long they've known each other.
That's what they're like. They're like, okay, you know.
Well then, I bid you all a fond farewell.
That's definitely Matt Mercer, though.
I hope
Has
we
to
have the
be.
chance to meet again soon.
Matt Mercer is Oliver. This makes this all the more fun. I love listening to and watching things with voice actors, especially some of my favorite ones. Matt Mercer is McCree from Overwatch and other things. He's also the head of the Critical Role. He's the game GM for Critical Role, which is so much fun to watch. 3 days had passed since the board of directors handed down their decision. Oh yeah, I gotta remind myself. Cayenne Pepper, because Cayenne is the bad guy. With the assurance that our field studies would continue, we finally turned our attention to next month's festival. However, losing those couple days at the end of the month meant we had that much less time to prepare. And no matter how much we brainstormed, we couldn't think of any really compelling ideas our small class could pull off. Eventually. Geez, I can't believe we burned through another week already. But hey, at least it's the perfect weather for a weekend out on the town. I hope you all enjoy your free day tomorrow, especially since you've got another practical exam coming up next Wednesday. You couldn't just send us off with a have a good weekend, could you? Just wouldn't be Instructor Sarah if she didn't throw in a little dash of torment. And then we have this month's field study coming up at the end of next week, right? Yep, just like we'd been planning. We might have made a few changes to the original itinerary, but nothing major. I'll tell you all about where you're headed after practical exams, so until then, keep on guessing. Yeah, you don't need to make it into some sort of dramatic revelation. She always does, though. Ooh, I can't wait to find out where we're gonna go this time. Oh, and by the way, you guys really need to figure out what you're gonna do for the festival next month. First years have to participate, so if you can't think of anything, you'll be showing your field study reports instead. Well, what? Certainly wouldn't be my first choice or even my fifth. That's a wrap for homeroom if you'll do the honors, Miss Class President. Yes, instructor. Stand, bow. Well, I'm sure she was just joking about putting our field study reports on display, I hope. Either way, we need to figure out what we're doing by the start of next week. Sounds wise, especially considering we have our practical exam on Wednesday and our field study next weekend. If that's how things stand, we should make it our goal to at least have some solid ideas by the end of tomorrow. We also need to check out what the other classes are planning. If we ended up doing something that was already being done, we'd seem totally redundant. Yeah, we should split up and start gathering some info. But remember, we need to find something that'll work with the number of people we've got. Yeah, all the other classes have more than double the manpower we do easily. And they all seem to have some pretty grandiose aspirations at that. Yeah, but it's quality, not quantity. If greatness were reliant on numbers, museums would be full of artwork produced by committee. There must be some course of action that could turn our lesser numbers to our advantage. Yeah, the question is what? If we had an easy answer, we wouldn't be spending all this morning worrying over it. I'm getting kind of pumped up. Well, a little inter-class competition never hurt anyone. In fact, it might spice things up a bit. It's Thor's summer uniform. Thor's standard uniform. Hey, we switched back to our normal clothes. Do I have my... Oh, I don't have my... Oh, that's only on a free day that I get that stuff. Only on a free day. Okay, let's see. Is there anyone on the floor that looks important? No. We're interested in the food stalls and anything else this festival has to offer. So much fun to go and trying all the food on offer. My mouth is already watering. Okay. Let's just go around talking to people. Maybe something will pop up. What's going on? My watch is acting all weird. Hey, what are you guys up to? Coming up with a good idea for us to do for the festival is a lot harder than I thought it'd be. Honestly, I'm starting to think that some kind of display wouldn't be that bad, at least in principle. Wouldn't. But that's the go-to idea for so many of the culture-related clubs. And I think that beyond the visitors enjoying it, we shouldn't do something we'd enjoy putting together, or we should do something we'd enjoy putting together too. True enough. A display-type exhibit would always work in a pinch, but it wouldn't be something we'd get excited about. Uh-oh. Might have to cut this up and do coffee. Agreed. Just came up with a good idea. Let's hear it. a shooting gallery using real bullets. Only problem is you'd put a hole in your prize. Oh, jeez. Okay, that's the only problem? Yeah, that would never fly on Academy grounds. Dang. Hey, I like her idea. She's thinking outside the box. You guys need to think outside the box, too. Elliot, you should be helping. Took a while, but my arm's finally all healed up. I can finally play the violin again pain-free. It's been so long that I forgot how relaxed I feel while playing it. My class is the coolest idea for the festival, but they're all so mean. You break everything you touch, they said. For the love of adios, please just sit still, they said. I mean, come on. Can you believe that? Sure, I'm a tad accident-prone, but they're completely ignoring how helpful I am. Seems like most clubs already have their plans for the festival sorted out. What if we are the only ones who haven't decided on anything yet? We really need to hurry and figure out what we're gonna do. A little group of people in the kitchen area. Hey, what's Millie doing? When did you have joined the cooking club, Milliam? Not that long ago. I figured I'd get to eat all kinds of tasty stuff here. Just remember that it's the cooking club, not the eating club. Don't worry, I'm making stuff too. I made the stove blow up the other day. Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy. You've made plenty of friends during your time here at Thor's, haven't you, Reen? And not just in your own year either. You've forged friendships with second years, instructors, and staff alike. You're the kind of person that people can feel confident placing their trust in. Thank you very much. When you say it like that, it makes me a little self-conscious. On the contrary, you should be very proud. Well then, as one of the instructors tasked with handing out what? The Lionheart medals this year? The Medal of Friendship. Ooh, look at me. Thank you so much. This is a real honor. Other than that, I don't really know what to say. I'm not really used to this sort of thing. Neither am I, to be honest. So all I can ask is that you continue to deepen your friendships with everyone. I'll be cheering you on as you do. I will, and thank you again. I'm everybody's friend. Oh. You want to try being a little more gentle? Putting too much strength into it will ruin the whole thing. I gotcha, I know what I'm doing. I was thinking, feeling that she doesn't. I had all given up on anyone new would join our club, but then along came Milliam. She's every bit as creative with her cooking as Margarita too. I really couldn't be happier. Really? She's blowing shit up. She's not cooking, she's just blowing shit up. And you're just still here. Festival, I couldn't care less. All just sounds like a ton of work. Where you'll find me during the festival? Right here, working like I always do. Yeah, she'd never lose that chair. She's creepy. Lots of peeps. Nope, can't ever go in there. How's it going, Principal? Rather looking forward to what Class 7 does for the festival. You all come from a wealth of different backgrounds, each with your own unique experiences. In that regard, I'd like to see something that only such a gathering of individuals could do. We really need to pull off something great now that we're facing these kinds of expectations. Indeed. What are you guys up to? Ah, I have stuff for you. Pudding. What else you got? Colorless noodles. Roasted fry up. Alright. Father would like to guide some children from town through the festival. Hi, Rosine. You're certainly jumping into sister lifestyle with both feet, aren't you? Well, I see no issue with that, so go round up those kids and bring them along. What a relief. Thank you so much. And, oh, I forgot. This is the girl that I helped. She's the sister. Oh, not at all. Keep up the good work at the church. I forgot. Hey, Sarah. Try and come up with an idea for the festival soonish, okay? Well, I guess that's easier said than done. What with the board's decision to go forward with your next field study? I know we're pretty limited on the time we can devote to brainstorming. Well, either way, better to have a few ideas knocking around sooner instead of waiting till the last minute. The longer you take, the more of the vice principal's angry ranting I'll have to endure. We'll do everything we can. The Epstein Foundation saying that they found a vulnerability in their main OS. Might be in ours too, actually. I'll have to take a look and fix it up if I find it. I don't really mention this, but you're pretty amazing with computers, Instructor Makarov, I guess. It's all such a pain, though. I'd really rather not have to do this stuff. And I don't really like this guy, Vice Principal Dirkface. The first board of directors meeting went rather well, though I was surprised to hear that they won't be canceling your field studies. A reckless decision, if you ask me. Just what do they plan on doing should any incidents occur off campus? Shut up! Hello, Instructor Nihon. Glad to see you made it back to the Academy. Indeed, all matters relating to the attack on Gorelia Fortress have been taken care of, so I am free to return. I apologize that I was unable to teach you for such an extended period of time. Don't worry, Instructor Sarah did a fine job of filling in for you. Is that so? I'll be sure to thank her later. Not the type to leave debts unpaid, is he? Nope, no debts unpaid for that guy. Oh, why am I stuck? Oh, that was weird. Couldn't move. Felt glued. Green Schwarzer, it seems as though you've been working very hard on your field studies, and even harder when you help the student council. I can hardly imagine how many people you've helped tackle their problems, all while showing compassion and honor. As an instructor here at Thor's, you could not have made me— Oh, I got another reward? Very kind of you, but I'm not sure I've done anything someone else in my shoes wouldn't have. To be honest, I'd say the people I've helped have let me develop as a person, so it's anything but a chore. The more you talk, the more right I know I am. I hereby present you with the Medal of Compassion. Yeah! Mrs. Herschel won this last year, so you know you're in good company. While this is far from a formal award ceremony, I do hope you'll accept. Even so, this is quite an honor. Of course I'll accept. Thank you very much. Having the ability and the will to help others is a precious thing. I hope that you can continue to do so as you grow older. Isn't there like oh, I gotta check. Now I gotta check. I think it like tells you who won the awards. No, it doesn't say who won them. Beatrix. So I got friendship, I got compassion. I think I have valor and then heroism. Oh, you know what? Does that mean I have to, because I got all three now? Meeting 2. I hope to see something that only a gathering window just like yourselves could do. So who? Maybe I didn't get the other one. Makarov. I think I got it from him already, didn't I? Pretty sure I did. Let's take a look. Yeah, see? Valor. Friendship. Oh, look at that. And yeah, I got all 3 medals, but he's not giving— maybe you'll get it at another time. He hasn't had time to be notified of your receiving of said medals. Oh, you never had anything important to say. You're just a secretary. Oh no. Beloved Vincent, whatever will you be up to during the festival? Wouldn't it be splendid to use the event to spend some quality time together? Oh boy. Talk of the festival brings back memories of our play last year. My first appearance on stage could be likened to a breathtakingly beautiful butterfly bursting forth from its cocoon. So wonderfully charming I was that ladies in the audience had to shut their eyes to resist swooning over me. Some might say that your acting simply put everyone to sleep. I get it, it's funny. It's funny because it's true. May's been pretty lively. You can really tell we're closing the festival. I've got my own things to care about beforehand. Just let me know if you need a hand. This only rolls around once a year, so best make it count. Okay, I did everything in the school. So let's go to student union, I guess. There might be some stuff in this. You should go to the library too. Twin Crazies. Class 4 plans on opening some kind of cafe, which I was totally in support of until they decided to use Vivi and me as the twin waitresses. I think I'm too shy to be a waitress. So me and Linda are gonna be waitresses together? Sure, there's a market for that, but twin waitresses sounds pretty good. Now I'm really looking forward to the festival. What are you guys doing? Take your class working hard on its attraction for the Academy Festival too? Wait, are you serious? You haven't even decided? That's bad, like really bad. You better hurry up and pick something. Yeah, let's see if they leave from these guys. Got a new recipe for me, chef? Whoa, I went through his body. It's almost time for the academy. Not that it matters to me. You're welcome to borrow the kitchen if you need it, but other than that, I'm not getting involved. The festival's for the students to organize, not me. Alright. Yes, chef. There's the weapons store guy. Literature club. What did you think about the outline I gave you, Dorothy? Well, I like the fact that it's focused on boys' adolescence. But unlike my work, which hinges on indulging a lady's fantasies, yours is much more subtle, artful even. This is perfect. This is exactly the kind of thing I've always wanted to read. Thank goodness. I planned out a story for an exclusively female audience, but Emma took it and turned it into something with crossover appeal. She's a great writer, so it makes sense that she was able to strike a balance. Emma's the type that she makes, is it still just the lower class chess club, even though they won? Festival setup can be tough for the first year since they have things to do for their clubs and their class, but that just makes it feel even better when their hard work pays off. Something is great. Might be tough, but it's all worth it. Okay, whatever. Sam, what's up? We're at a disadvantage both class size and cooperation time. Might be a struggle to put something worthwhile together. Ideally, we could think of an idea that only we could pull off. Photography club. Next year, we were able to get plenty of great photos. I'm feeling pretty confident about our exhibit at the festival this year. Nobody's gonna want to look at nothing but nature photos. We need some babes in the mix. Creepy occult club. That's in there. Sounds like people are talking inside. Okay, next on the agenda is the issue of the food and drink stalls. More specifically, how we ensure hygiene standards across all of them. That's a big one, especially with how many non-academy visitors we'll have. Worse yet, Heinrich and some of the other instructors were saying the stall should be banned if we can't take care of them. Are they crazy? We couldn't possibly ban food and drink stalls at a festival. That's half the fun right there. In that case, we're gonna really need to each and every student to understand their responsibilities in regards to hygiene. We've still got about a month, so we take the initiative early. What if we discuss this with Instructor Beatrix in the infirmary and worked with her? That seems like a good way to do it. Sounds good to me. No objections here. Settled then. I'm sure if we work together, everything will be fine. Let's move on to the next topic. She seems really busy. I was hoping to ask her about Class 7 could do for the festival, but today definitely does not seem like the right time. Maybe tomorrow. She almost died. Toa almost died when the Imperial Liberation Front went to town. You're a black angler now. Impressive, you even earned the same title as me in such a short time. You should have expected that from a fishing pro like you, though. I'm gonna need to fish even harder so you don't overtake me. I can't say it's a bad feeling to be so highly regarded. It took me a while to get the hang of it, but now I feel like I've gotten really hooked on fishing. You know, it's taking hold when you start with the fishing puns. You need to enjoy these things. And now that you're a black angler, I can trade you some even nicer stuff. Keep up the pace, Reen. I'm so proud of you. Aw, thanks. I won't let you down. Well, let's see. What can you trade me? The Lake Lord Star. I have tons of angler points. Exceptionally sturdy rod that can withstand the mightiest, ideal for catching large fish. Yeah. Flood, Hydro Cannon, Crystal, Flood, and Athelas. Plus HP 800. Seryu, attacks can craft, and they got a Salmon Badge. HP 500, Accuracy, and Strength. Part of a set. I have no more Swordtail badges? What? Well, let's get one of these. Thought I had them. Let's get a Salmon Badge. And then, should I pick up Flood? I think I should. I took a Flood. Oh no. Dang it. Alright, it's whatever. It's whatever. It's whatever. Council room, which I already went to. And salon. So what is the upper class chess club? Literature, imperial fishing, photography. Yeah, they don't even have a room for it. I always thought they did. Maybe I'm just stupid. Not paying attention. Oh man, there's so many things. Okay. Library. Oh, there's books. Recommended reading corner. Oh no, I don't have time. No, I don't have time for all this. We're in folklore, sports. What about this one? Is this new? Yeah, these are new. Folklore 3. Okay, I'll have to read this on another episode or in my free time. We'll see. Oh, never mind. Thought there was somebody up here. I 'twas mistaken. Maybe the reputation is a font of random knowledge thanks to all the reading I do. So my classmates have decided that I'm in charge of everything related to our event setting. Our project has something to do with the stars, so maybe I should tie it to some mythology somehow. Sure. Engineering. What's going on, Crow? Oh, hey, Reen. Speak of the devil, Crow was just talking about you. What's this I hear about you guys struggling with your plans for the Academy Festival? It's embarrassing to say it, but it's true. You've had so much on your plate with field studies. Who can blame you? You can start thinking of stuff now. That's all out the way, though. Good point. But it'd be nice if you actually lend us a hand or come up with something. If I did, it'd be now you youngsters a valuable lesson in independence. How could I live with myself? Sounds like Crow's already made himself at home in Class 7. He sure does. In fact, they're getting along so well that I think he should spend another year with them. Hold on, Jellica. You're not seriously hoping I get held back a year, are you? What did I ever do to you? That reminds me, actually. What did you all do for last year's festival? We were in different classes, so we all did different things. My class had a little attraction that I used some machines I built myself. You certainly showed off your stuff with that, didn't you? Meanwhile, I had the pleasure of playing the leading man in a play we held in the auditorium. Now that was popular, by which I mean all the girls went absolutely crazy for her and almost tore the auditorium down. Of course, I had to wade through the sea of admirers to get to my top priority, Towa's Class Cat Cafe. Just remembering how impossibly cute she was in her cat outfits and shivers down my spine. Didn't know you could weaponize cuteness, but not only did Crow take charge by helping out a bunch of different places, he even organized our performance that closed out the festival. You all did a performance together? Yeah, nothing too fancy. Might have been almost as popular as Jellica's play, though, I don't know. Well, let's not be humble now. It was far and away the most popular event at the festival. The audience was so excited that Toa managed to get over her initial nervousness and get really into it. Now I've got to know what this was. Maybe I'll tell you about it some other time. Speaking of Toa, actually, we can't thank you enough for what you did while the trade conference was going on. Guess that applies to Crow too. I don't even want to imagine what would happen to her if you hadn't stopped the railway gun. She'd be dead, literally, like blown to smithereens. Okay, turn off the waterworks. No need to thank me for helping a buddy. He's right. Besides, it wasn't like we were the only ones involved either. I'm just glad we're all safe and sound and can joke around about the festival like this. That's all the thanks I need. Even so, thanks, Reen. Good luck on coming up with something. Seconded. If you need us to lend you a hand, just ask. I'll do just that. Yeah, that's cool. We got a nice little scene there, and this episode's running long, and I'm gonna need to make some coffee so I can continue. So I'm gonna have to stop it and rock it. I think I'm actually supposed to go to let's see, where do I go? Oh, front entrance of the thing. That's where it all ends. That's where I'm supposed to go. So when you leave the academy, it all changes. And I'll do that at the beginning of the next episode. I'll just jog over there. Thank you guys for watching RPG Corner. I'm Kelthar of the Heroes and Legends. You're watching us play Trails of Cold Steel, Legend of Heroes style. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, comment if you have something to say, and subscribe. It helps support the channel. At 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.